Find the payment made by the ordinary annuity with a given present value. They also not only ask us to do this, but they give us information. They're telling us that the present value is $88,616. They're also informing us that these payments are going to be monthly for 15 years. The interest will be 3.3%, and we're going to be compounding monthly. The first step is to identify the correct formula. And how you find the correct formula is by noticing that this is an ordinary annuity with present value. This would be the formula for that type of annuity. Notice we have this formula, and they also tell us what the I and the N are. I is R over M, and N is N times T. Then jot down all the information they give you and what's missing. So they tell us the present value is $88,616. This M equal 12 came from compounded monthly. This is the period. So if it's compounded monthly, M is 12. And then since the M is involved in both of these, notice there's an M here and an M here, we go ahead and set it up for I and N so we can know what I and N are. So here's the I. The I asks for the rate, which is this one, rate, 3.3%. Put it here, but in decimal form. Notice I changed it from percent to decimal. You put it here. Then you put the M here. We said it was 12. Now you find the N. The N is M times T. The M we said was 12. The M is 12. And they're saying that this is going to go on for 15 years. Multiply this, and it's 180. So wherever you see the N in the formula, you put a 180. This I, we're going to plug it in like this, here and here. What's missing is the payment. So plug in whatever you know and isolate what's missing. So you plug everything you know. Here's the present value. Here are the I's. Here's the N. And notice it has a negative. Don't forget that negative, because the formula has a negative there. So it's 180. N is 180. And then the formula tags on a negative. So don't forget that negative up there. Now that you have all of this written, there's a lot of parts. It's easy to make a mistake. So recommendation, figure out what this numerator number is. Figure out what the denominator number is. So just work with this top, plug it into your calculator, and you get this. Plug in this denominator into your calculator, and you get this. So now that you have these two numbers, you divide them, the top one divided by the bottom one, and you get this. So we're getting close to getting that PMT by itself. So divide both sides by this number. So I'm going to divide this side by that number. And what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So I'm going to divide this number also by this number. So I divide by this number. And I divide this number by what I divided this side by, right, with this one. So this cancels to 1. So this guy moves to the other side, but in the denominator, since I divided both sides by the same number. Then just key this in, and that'll give you the payment. And the payment is $624.83.